It's day 7 of the Christmas challenge that I'm doing, the Big Talk challenge of the Big Christmas Reset. So that's 24 days, 24 challenges, and every day it's a challenge to help you reset your energy by focusing on your self-growth journey and coming back to self. So today I'm going to be using oracle cards and tarot cards to figure out what are 10 ways that you can boost your empathy. And today's challenge is to step in somebody else's shoes, to practice recharging your empathy. So the first card that we have is the Wolf Spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. The more we collect experiences in the world, the more we meet different people, the more we're able to understand why they're acting the way that they're acting, because they are a reflection of us, because we are all one, we're all connected, and the purpose of increasing your empathy is so that you can connect to more people, so that you can be of assistance to more people. You know, entrepreneurs and leaders, they build new businesses and new structures because they want to help, because they understand that the world we live in is kind of corrupted. And in order to do that, you have to have empathy. So the first card that comes is turn knowledge into wisdom. If you want to be an impactful leader, you have to understand that you're here to work with people. So empathy is going to be beneficial for you as a leader and as a human being, because the more you can connect with people, the more you can relate to people, the more you can collaborate with them to achieve your goals, even if you are in the leadership seat, because you would need to work with people to bring your vision to life. So the first obstacle to you being empathetic is you practicing just the logical side, the left side. The second card that comes is the Bee Spirit. Sweet results await. So talking about the collaboration, the more we're able to transform the knowledge, all of our observations into wisdom, the more we can work with others. The worker bees, they are a colony for a reason. They work with one another. A bee on her own, on his own, cannot do anything. And when we get together, when we practice empathy to one another, we're able to create big legacy structures, such as the structure of the bee. There is empathy. I recently watched a documentary on bees and how, there are sometimes lazy bees. And so the colony would need to remove the lazy bees to ensure that the legacy continues. But what if you could turn knowledge into wisdom as a human being, not as a bee, and understand why the people that you're working with are losing motivation and how you can empower them, how you can inspire them. And so channeling your inner mentor and using that bee spirit where you can be a collaborator, even if you are a leader, even if you are leading your company, being a manager, you still need to connect to people, human to human. So focus on the vision, but understand that you still need people, you still need collaboration to make it work. And the next card after the Bee Spirit is the Wasp Spirit. So the Bee Spirit is sweet results await. And the Wasp Spirit is sometimes life stinks. We tend to lose our empathy for one another when we've been burnt by relationships, when we've been burnt by our early years, our early onboarding years. A lot of the childhood experiences that we have tend to be a mixture of sweetness and sadness, because we didn't always get the attention that we needed, the emotional comfort that we needed, and in those early years we might not have had all of our needs met. And when we think about opening our hearts to people, sometimes we compare the new relationships that we're building with those that were here in the beginning of our life. And this is the power of the healing journey, when we allow ourselves to view the knowledge as the path to wisdom and our experiences as, the tools for us to strengthen our resilience, strengthen our empathy. Because if you are here as a cycle breaker, you probably have gone through some difficulties. You probably have gone through some situations that brought you to a lower spectrum of your emotions. And in order for you to experience the joys and the highs, and for you to be the leader that can turn the knowledge into wisdom, you've had to be the student that experiences the lows so that you can relate to people. And so the next card is the Eagle Spirit, which is Spirit has your back. And there is a beauty that is revealed in this card, that when you approach situations in life with this kind of mindset, I have your back. When you are the friend that shows up at work, that shows up in your social circle, I have your back, something beautiful happens is that the universe mirrors that back to you, and it says, we have your back too. We are seeing the bravery of your heart to open up, to trust again, to lead with love. And so we're going to give you the strength to go forward with that attitude. And there's a video, one of the motivational speakers that said recently, you go into situations not with the idea that you're never going to get hurt or that people are never going to break your trust. You go into these situations knowing that whatever happens, you have your own back. Whatever happens, you are resilient enough to bounce back because you are collaborating with the universe. You're collaborating with people, but you are collaborating with the universe as well. And the next card is the Bobcat Spirit. Life is a mystery, with the number 8, which is the infinity symbol, which is the moment you think you've got it figured out, life's gonna change. Because the point of the experience called life is not for us to have all the answers. It's not for us to always be in control, but to trust that Spirit has our back. And so when we're living our life with more empathy, it's about embracing that unknownness that inevitably is going to happen on your journey. It doesn't matter how much time you spend healing. It doesn't matter how much time you get prepared. When you enter the new rooms, when you enter these new situations where, you know, you're unfamiliar with the people that are in front of you, you are having to embrace the fact that life is a mystery. Do you know who you are though? I can see on top of the deck is this card. Believe in yourself. Do you know who you are, and do you believe in yourself? It doesn't matter if life is a mystery. If you know who you are, you will be able to overcome any challenge. The 10 of Cups is the first card. Empathy. We develop our empathy so that we can experience more of this happy end version of life. We develop our empathy because we want to believe in the happy ending, because we want to believe that, you know, the light overcomes the darkness. We want to believe that love is the most transformational force. And when we lead our own life with more love, with more empathy, it transforms us. So it manifests as the proof. It is true. Empathy has changed my life for the better. So why not invest more time in it, more effort in it? And that brings the 5 of Wands, the next card, this fire that is called the shadow work. It pushes you, it motivates you to do more of the shadow work, which is taking accountability for what you can do. You can't control what people do. You can't go and do the healing journey for them, but you can be the example that they can change their life story because you're changing your life story, and you are showing up daily with this mindset of 5, which is the creator. 5 is the number of change, but you are implementing that creative change because you believe in the more, because you believe in the ascension of your soul's journey, and you have already seen the results that when you lead your life with more empathy, you increase your own state of mind, state of being, your own spirit. This is the journey of your soul while you're having your human experience. This is the enlightenment journey. This is you ascending and taking the steps higher and higher into understanding what it means to be human and how you can bring that inner peace out into the world. Because if you look around and you see the war, it's not just war between politics or between football fans or even between jealous, girlfriends and boyfriends. There is war across all levels and all industries. But if we focused every single day on strengthening and empowering our own empathy, we slowly, over time, will become more understanding of our differences. So we're not going to jump into judgment. We're going to be able to practice what is known as stepping into other people's shoes, because people are acting the way they're acting because of their experiences. Nobody is inherently bad, and nobody is here to cause chaos. But when people cannot handle with that shadow work, they tend to put that out into the world because they cannot handle it internally. So they create chaos outside. It manifests as chaos. And when we're able to complete that journey of elevation and facing ourselves and developing that empathy for ourselves, we're able to ascend. And the next card is love, the lovers. When we're able to fall in love with every part of ourselves and every part of our journey, every chapter, every season of your life, we're able to understand. We're able to turn the knowledge into wisdom. I now understand why what happened to me and felt like the biggest struggle, what felt like my life was collapsing, because sometimes life stings, because sometimes the foundation that you have is not strong enough, so you need to go back to the ground zero so you can elevate from a stronger foundation. There is war everywhere, indeed. Yeah. And unfortunately, fortunately, the card that comes out confirms that this darkness that people are unable to face and rise above from. There's a lot of darkness that takes people because it persuades them that turning to alcohol is one way to deal with that. Turning to gossip is one way to deal with that. Turning to hatred is one way to deal with that. When it's as simple as you being able to do that inner work of apply more love to your own life, because then that is reflected outwardly. And you're able to be the change maker. Because yes, there is darkness, and there's a lot of darkness. But when you have that mindset of, I am connected to the light, I am the light, light works through me, that darkness, you're not going to hold the hand of the darkness. You're going to acknowledge it's there. You're going to learn from it. You're going to understand something about it. But you're going to continue to remain loyal to who you are and loyal to love. Because ultimately, the darkness is being defeated by love. Every time. If you look at the image in this card, we have one person that's being tortured by these illusions. And these illusions are sometimes our limiting beliefs or reliving the trauma. And we're all looking for that belonging, for that connection, to find even one person that understands us and wants to build with us. And that could be a business partner. It doesn't have to be romantic. That could be, somebody from your soul tribe. But our biggest wish in the world is to find a place where we belong, to find a place where somebody sees our presence as a wish fulfillment, that somebody thinks to themselves, I wished for a friend like you. I wished for a colleague like you. I wished for a leader like you. I wished for a mother like you, a sister like you, a friend that supports me, understands me, that encourages me to shine brighter. And when you lead your life with more empathy, you're able to encourage other people to shine their light as well, because you understand we're not here to bring one another down. We're here to empower one another. And it starts with that self-empowerment. And I can see another card from the Oracle deck on top. Act as if. So, with empathy, sometimes it's not about finding people around us that have the same level of empathy that we do if we happen to be more empathetic than others. It's about acting as the messengers of love, as the messengers of light, as the messengers of hope wherever we go, because the world needs more empathy and it doesn't need martyrs. We often connect empathetic people and empaths of the world as not necessarily the losers, but the people that just are taking on everyone's problems and they're just consuming all these emotions and doing the emotional labor for others. The gift of empathy is that you can bring that light into the darkest of situations and help people rise above this. Ignore this. Focus on this. This is what the darkness does to you. It traps you. It traps you, and you feel like a pawn. You feel like there's no escape. And so when an empath is in the room with you, when an empath is in your life, you can turn to them for the inspiration. You can turn to them for some guidance, for some wisdom. And the card that comes out next is the Fool. If you have a different example in your life, even if it's just one person, you're not going to listen to this voice that says you're worthless, you don't deserve anything, you should probably just give up. When you have that one person that is willing to stand alone and shine for the world, that is enough for you to believe that you too can take the jump and be a different person and change that narrative and change something in the way that you live your life, as a way for you to rewrite the story of your life, rewrite the narrative. And so act as if really is the beginning of a brand new journey, and it's the beginning of a manifesting process as well. But empathy is something that happens when we are tired of living in the darkness, when we have been stung too many times and we think to ourselves, do you know what, I think I'm ready for a new start. I think I'm ready to let go of the burdens. I think I'm ready to let go of the heaviness. I think I'm ready to start living in a way that reflects this ease that I want to experience more of. Because the ascension journey is about releasing that which no longer serves you, that which is no longer in alignment with you, so that you can experience a different version, a version of life that is more aligned with the whole universe and your sole purpose on earth. We build our empathy so that we can take the lead. And when we take the lead in our life, it doesn't always have to be loud. It doesn't always have to be aggressive. It doesn't always have to be launching the next big project, the next big company. Taking the lead sometimes is as simple as understanding that you're here to set a different example in your community, understanding that you're here to be the first person in your family to achieve a huge milestone, such as living abroad maybe, or starting a foundation, starting a charity, or it could be something as small as presenting your ideas at a local school to raise funds, or presenting your gift somewhere and singing at a Christmas concert and doing a dance and getting people together and creating something, filming content online to inspire people. Your gifts can be manifested into different ways into the physical world, where you get to channel that empathy. And there isn't one way. Maybe you're a painter and you think to yourself, I'm going to take the lead and I'm going to draw paintings that, are cosmic, that come from somewhere else, from source. Paintings that they don't reflect the world around us, but they carry codes for the future. They carry messages of inspiration, messages of hope. When we make that decision to live our life with more empathy, we get to be not only the change makers that take the lead and inspire people to be more brave and more courageous, but the Chariot comes here. We speed up our own life because we open doors to opportunities that we didn't even know were possible. If you've been following tarot, the Chariot is always considered as something that rushes into your life. But what if you were the Chariot? What if you opening your heart was the key that speeds up your life? What if your choice to be more empathetic and to connect with more people and to reach out to more people and just ask them, how is your day doing? How can I collaborate with you? How can we do something together? This is the key that speeds up your success, your joy, your abundance, everything that you're desiring. What if it's on the other side of you taking those actions, taking those steps, and not only turning the knowledge into wisdom, but channeling your joy into that empathy, into that enthusiasm, and understanding that sometimes leading with empathy doesn't lead to productivity, as in, the high performance, but it opens doors that high performance couldn't open. Simply because you've opened your heart and you're operating at such high frequency that it's surpassing high performance that is based on logic. I'm not saying abandon your to-do lists. I'm just saying think about the balance between leading your life with the logic, showing up for your daily self-growth, showing up for your habits, but also taking some time to just be that human that creates opportunities for connection, not just opportunities for growth, because some of that growth is going to happen with our connections to others. And when we make time to actually go out and meet people and connect with them, this is when the magic happens, when we're able to truly step into other people's shoes and understand why they're acting the way they're acting, why they're saying the things they're saying. And every now and then, because you are on this journey to unlocking more of your potential, people are going to drop certain words, certain sentences in the conversation that are going to guide you to you helping them understand how they can improve their lives, because you're taking the steps to be a change maker through channeling your empathy. And don't underestimate the power of empathy. I think this is the final card. Again, on top of the deck is the Bat Spirit. Our rebirth is assured. Every day that you choose to lead your life with empathy is a day where you strengthen your boundaries a little bit more and rise from the ashes of the previous version that you left behind. Because empathy is not just about being kind all the time. Sometimes empathy is setting the right boundaries so that you give your inner child the empathy that your inner child didn't experience when you were at high school, primary school, however young you were when you first acknowledged this was unfair. Because at the time, maybe you didn't have the power of your voice. Maybe your throat chakra was not activated, but now it is. Now you can say, you know what, that doesn't serve me. That doesn't align with my highest good. That doesn't go well with my self-worth. So I can set that boundary while I understand, the reason you're acting that way. I can understand it because I can step into your shoes. But at the end of the day, this journey is about you being able to balance self-worth and honoring other people. This is the journey of developing empathy for yourself and empathy for other people. And when you are able to balance that, we're able to be that leader that is kind, that is generous, that is graceful, and a leader that is able to set the tone for equal give and take. And a guiding light for those who are seeing a lot of the darkness and not enough of the light. Because when you lead with empathy, I guarantee you, your inner light is going to be as strong as ever before. And it's going to get stronger every single day. The more you practice empathy and the more you practice understanding people and stepping into their shoes, because genuinely you want to understand. Spirituality is based on the idea that we're all one. This is the unity consciousness. So when one of us is hurting, we're all hurting on some level, on some collective level. And the more we are able to balance ourselves internally, the more we're able to practice that self-love, the more we're able to practice forgiveness and gratitude so that we can release ourselves from carrying those burdens, the more we ascend and we pull, and rather push, the collective ascension, the collective self-acceptance. And the more this is the state of the world, wherever you turn to, there's always that one shining star that brings hope to people, that brings empathy to people. So if you cannot see the light in the rooms that you're standing, you might be the light. And that is an honor in some ways. If you can acknowledge the part that you get to play in life, the part that you get to play being the person that inspires others to do better. It's not always easy, but you are changing the narrative by being able to sustain that empathy for yourself and for others. And in doing so, you are changing the world. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more tarot cards, self-growth content, and you can get the free journal from my bio if you want to join the big Christmas reset. Have a lovely afternoon or evening wherever you are based.